Welcome back to the All We Need podcast, and I'm really excited today to share the Hungary Summer Mission Team with you. We're going to talk about their experience, and we're sitting out here at beautiful Camp Wonderland, so we're also just enjoying the weather and nature, and we're looking forward to what's going to happen at camp this week. But first of all, let's hear about their experience. So we'll start right here. Just tell us who you are and where you're from to start with.
Yes, my name is Xavi Montenegro. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, Northland Division.
Hello, my name is Leslie. I am from Cicero, Temple Laramie Corps.
Hi, I'm Ava from Chicago, and I go to OBT, Oak Brook Terrace.
Hi, I'm Lydia. I'm from Indiana, Marion, Indiana. Recently, I'm in Indianapolis.
And we're so glad you're here. You've been home for 3 days? Is that about right?
Yep,
Yes.
Third day.
Okay. So there's lots of stories to tell. So we're going to get started. And just let's start with you, Leslie. A couple highlights from you, okay?
Some of the highlights of this summer has been getting to know my team and also the translators, and just getting to know like each officer and cadets from Hungary and just working alongside with them and just sharing the gospel was my biggest highlight this summer.
That's great. Lydia, tell us about you.
One of my favorite parts was just going to all of the different areas that we went to in Hungary, all the different shelters and different day camps and corps. It was interesting to see how each corps like adapts to their community.
Yeah, good. Ava, what about you?
I loved all the day camps we went to with the kids. Being able to minister to them was really special. And then also similar to Leslie's, just like meeting our translators and the officers and just like the different communities was great.
Mm-hmm. And Javi?
Yes, the kids were a blessing. They were hilarious and really fun to interact with. And it was fun finding ways to connect with them, even like though we had like a language barrier. But yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that's great. So we'll unpack some of that as we go along, because that was a lot, and it's been a lot, hasn't it? This summer. I want to know what might have made you smile or laugh. I have a feeling there were some of those moments. So who wants to go first?
Made me laugh. Let's see. We've had some crazy moments, but like, I don't know. Should I just go straight for it? I'm just go straight for it. Like one time we're at the water park, and like we're walking back, and like Ava just falls on the ground, like completely collapses. It was just a hilarious moment. The officer was just like cracking up, and I just don't know. I don't think anyone really knew what to do, but just to tie it into the overall summer, it's just like, it was just really fun. Like getting close to all the Corps officers. They're all like amazing people. So I just think that was just a funny moment for all of us, and a funny moment with that officer specifically.
Let's just make sure Ava was okay, though, right?
She was totally fine.
Okay, all right, good.
Took her a little bit to get up, but she was okay.
Who else? What made you smile or laugh?
I think for like getting to know our translators was really fun. I was a little nervous at first just because like we're in a new area, new atmosphere, didn't really know them very well. But I think by the end of the trip, we became like family. And so we had one translator, Andrew, and then we had another translator, Hannah. So yeah, they were very helpful, and it was just a fun experience with them, and they just became a part of the team.
That's great. Good. Yeah. Anybody else?
Something that really made me smile was listening to the worship, the different Hungarian like worship songs. And then at our last corps we went to, they sang "Open the Eyes of My Heart," and I haven't heard that song in forever. And then they sang it in Hungarian, and then like at first it was slow, but then it was really upbeat, and it was like, wow, this is so cool. It's so fun.
Great. Yeah.
What made me smile this summer was getting to know the children. Even though there's like the language barrier, they would always make us laugh or smile. There was this one boy in particular that he did the Michael Jackson like moves. So that was like one of like the highlights, because he would do it and then he would keep showing us, and it was just like something that just brought a smile on my face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there were things that challenged you too, I'm sure. I have a couple in mind, but let me hear from you. What was the challenge, Lydia? It looks like you're ready to go. You were the leader first, right, of the team?
Yes, I was the leader.
Yeah.
which was crazy. I'm used to leading kids, so leading adults is interesting. But yeah, one of the challenges, we all agree that one of the biggest challenges was the heat, because we had several days in a row that was 100 degrees or higher, and there was no air conditioning in most of the buildings, so we were sweating all day, all night. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I just would like to bring up the car. I think we had a lot of driving issues.
It was on my list.
I wanted to bring that up because the car was definitely a moment of contention throughout the summer. Like, just some issues with that. Like, we had a moment where someone like actually bumped in and got in an accident backing up into another car. And then we had another moment where we put the wrong gas into the car, and like packing the car every time was a little bit of an experience. So that was definitely one of those struggle moments for all of us, I think.
Yeah. It's called team building.
Team building moments.
And just for those who are listening, I got to watch them figure out how to pack the car the first time. And it was quite an adventure. Yeah. Javi, you were kind of lost in the middle of all the luggage in the back, weren't you?
Yes, I was barricaded in the back. I was in a little fort of luggage.
But you made it, right? Yes. Good. Okay. What else? Anybody else with a challenge? Yeah.
I just think like not knowing. I think when you sign up for SMT, like you have to be flexible, but just like sometimes not knowing where we're going next, not knowing the schedule, not knowing where we're going to be around, I think was a bit of a challenge for me. But yeah, you get used to it and you learn to be flexible. So yeah.
Good.
I felt like one of the challenges for me was I'm a yapper, so I couldn't yap like without like a translator to like talk with like the kids or the officers. So I felt like that was very challenging because like I really wanted to ask them questions and get to know them better and just like, you know, laugh.
Yeah.
And I couldn't as much.
Yeah. Let's talk about translation a bit. That has to be a challenge because the language, tell me about the language. First of all, who wants to give us some Hungarian?
I think Lydia knows the most Hungarian out of all of us. She practiced.
I don't know about that. But the language sounds so beautiful, but it's also complicated. It's interesting. Did you want me to share some words?
Tell us some things.
So we said thank you a lot, which is kusunum. And then we said sia is hello or goodbye. And then if you're talking to multiple people, it's sia stok. There's a funny thing that always caught me off guard because they say sia for hello and goodbye. Some people knew like hello was English. So when they were leaving, they would say hello to us. And that always was like, what? But yeah.
Yeah. So how did it go with translators? What was adjusting to that? What was that like?
Yeah, we loved the translators. We really enjoyed like their friendship and stuff, and I think at least for me it wasn't like a super big adjustment. Like I think they did a really good job because I think like specifically Hannah, like I think every like officer just loved her. She was really friendly, so I think when we like talked, she set like a good example for all of us. Like she was like a good person to just be like the lead, take the lead in conversations because she was really friendly and cool. So
one of the priorities, this podcast, we focus on the territorial priorities, and one of them is leadership development. And Ava, you already kind of started to talk about what you learned. So what are some things you learned about your own leadership during the summer?
I was the leader, but I feel like I'm not a natural leader. And it seemed like the rest of my team were more natural leaders than I was. I don't know if that's the case, but that's how it seemed like to me. So a big thing I learned about my leadership is that it's good that I'm not a natural leader because I have to rely on God more. And that's what leaders should be doing in the first place. It's constant reliance on God and so much grace from God.
That's great. That's a big lesson to learn. Yeah. Okay.
I talked about it a little bit already, but just learning to be comfortable in the uncomfortable. And I think this was a big challenge for me. I'm not like a great small talk person or not usually the person that will like introduce myself first. So I think I was definitely challenged to just like go out of my comfort zone and get to know people. And I'm so happy I did because it was rewarding. But yeah, just being comfortable in the uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to add on to what Ava was saying, I think there's just different points in the summer where like one of us just had to like step up. Like maybe everyone else was tired or something. Like there's definitely different points of stressful moments, but someone was always able to step up and just take the lead and like just be able to set the example for everyone else and pick up everyone else's slack, I guess.
Yeah, that's great.
I feel like I was able to like sometimes step down and let others like also like take the lead because I do a lot of like leadership things at my core. Right. So like I'm used to like being the one who's like the leader. So like I would see how like Javi, Ava, Lydia would step up, and like all of us had like our strength and some of us had, you know how like we all have like weaknesses. So like seeing how like maybe my weakness was Javi's strength. So like when it was like my weakness, I would step down and then he would like fill in. So it was like really beautiful to see how like each of us have like leadership skills, and how like this summer we were able to get stronger in like our strength and see what we're good at, you know. Like it's not that we were used to like not doing it, but like this summer like we all like stepped in, you know.
That's great. Good. So building on that then, another priority is spiritual life. So what did God teach you? What did you learn about your relationship with him this summer?
That it's okay to not know what's next. Okay. I have a lot of like things that are changing in like this couple months. So like just relying on him and remembering that he's my firm foundation, and just praying and just relying on him plainly and knowing that he's gonna make it happen in his way, and just being calm and like not worrying and just relying on God completely has been mine this summer.
Our theme for summer missions was Firm Foundation. So we focused on the scripture, Psalm 62, which is Christ just being our firm foundation. And we can retreat to him in times where we need him. So I think just learning to fully depend on him in anything that we did, whether it was small or big, and also know that like we could find rest in him, because though it was a missions trip, it was important for us to rest and find times of just moments to retreat to God. And so just to depend on him.
Yeah, just I wanted to say that like when you're just hot and tired and you're stressed out a little bit, you really just kind of get exposed. Like, you know, when you like, that's just kind of, you need God in those moments. Like you kind of really see some of your weaker areas when you're just exhausted, and then you kind of have to fall back on like your foundation, firm foundation. Yeah.
This is a question I actually didn't ask you, but I do want to hear more about Hungary. What did you learn about the people of Hungary, and especially those who are part of the Salvation Army? And what did it mean to you to learn about a new country and new culture?
Everywhere we went, the officers, like the hospitality was just amazing. They were just so nice. I feel like at times they were serving us more than we were serving them. Like they were just so kind. And then I just feel like Hungarians just kept to themselves a lot. I feel like here, like on public transportation, it can be like very loud or kind of chaotic. And in Hungary, it was just like people are much more reserved and polite. So that was very different to see. But yeah.
I feel like in the Salvation Army, the officers, they really wanted to know and hear our testimonies. They were like very interested to know if we were soldiers, our family, like, are they soldiers? Are they pastors? How are they involved in the Salvation Army? Like, when? Like, how? Like, they were, like, asking us so many questions of, like, they were, like, very interested. And they also shared their story with us, too, of, like, how they came to Christ. So that was very fun.
Yeah, the officers were very, like, relatable and, like, really easy to connect with and super, like, funny. And, like, they just wanted to really just be our friends. And I just thought that really impacted me. And I remember like I was talking to the officer and he's like, you have to be so respectful, just talk to me like I'm just your friend, like just be more casual, like it's okay. And I just thought that was really nice. They really just wanted to connect with us and be with us, and that was really cool.
Something I loved was that the Salvation Army would involve the Roma community, because they're usually outcasts, but a lot of the corps we went to, half were from the Roma community, and then half were like other Hungarians, and the atmosphere, like they were all getting along so well and embracing each other's culture.
I want to pick up on the Roma community though. So for those who are listening, I got to spend a week also in Hungary and went before you did out to visit where the Roma community is there. And that was really impactful as we walked around that community. But you really got to know the people, didn't you? So tell us a little bit about what life is like for them.
Talking about like just walking around the neighborhood, you can really just see it's not like the most fortunate circumstance to be in. Like they had one well of water, so they would all walk to that well and fill up their water. Like some of the roofs weren't super well constructed. All the buildings were super old, but what really stuck out to me was just the joy like these kids had. And, like they're just super like excited about everything, like every devotional. They're super attentive and like listening, and like they're so excited to sing This Little Light of Mine to us in Hungarian. And just like that joy really impacted me when it's like, I remember just walking through the town and just being like humbled a little bit. And then just like the contrast, like how much joy the kids had just at day camp.
Yeah. Anybody else? Anything?
So another thing is we went to the zoo on a field trip with the Roma community kids.
Wow.
And that was so fun. And like the parents were taking care of like each other's kids. Like it was all mixed. The community was so tight in that Roma community. And you could also tell like some other Hungarians at the zoo were looking at them a little bit weird, like what is going on, why are they here type thing. But it didn't matter to that community. They were still having fun and enjoying it.
Yeah, I love that you did that. That's so great. Yeah, good. Okay, so last question. No, well, maybe. What will you miss about your time in Hungary?
The people. In every like corps that we went to, I felt like I made a connection with like the officers, like the kids from like the Roma community. Just being in like their companionship was very like fun. Like even though they didn't have much, like they always had a smile on their face. They always had like the joy. They were always seeking God in the midst of everything. So I feel like just remembering that God is our firm foundation was something that was reminding me every like the whole summer, like God is our firm foundation, and relying on him, and seeing the kids do that at a young age was very like, wow. It was like an eye-opener moment for like me, and I'm like, wow, I should be more joyful. You know, like even though like, you know, they don't have much, the joy that they bring, and it just reminded me to be more happy and just with what I have. You know, if I could share things, then just share that with everyone else. So
Yes, I'm gonna miss the people as well, but also I'm gonna miss like how pretty everything was. Like the buildings, it was just like everything was like artwork. And then coming back to America, I guess things are more designed to be more functional and like, you know, stuff like that. Like it's not, I'm not gonna talk bad on America, you know, this is my country, you know, but you know, just coming back to all the parking lots and stuff, it was different, but I just loved how pretty everything was, and like all the plants and trees and statues everywhere. Everything was really cool to look at.
Yeah.
Well, you guys touched on the people and the sights. Yeah, it was gorgeous seeing the parliament. We got to see it at night. That was beautiful. I'll say I missed the food. The food was so good.
I've been waiting for somebody to bring up the food.
One of the officers there, before she became an officer, was like a professional cook. And any one of her meals that she cooked, we just loved. So she made us like traditional Hungarian goulash. That was the best. Anything she made, delicious.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you covered people and food and the sightseeing. Yes, I agree with all of those things. And I already miss our translators because they really were part of our team. Like if we were painting a fence, they were painting a fence. And like they spent like the entire summer with us.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a big thing. And then also the music, because I just love music and I can play it on my phone. I found some Hungarian songs on YouTube, but it's not the same as being at the core with the praise band, singing it in person.
Yeah. Okay, good. So I'm going to ask you in a moment. We always ask at the end of the podcast, how can we pray for you? Knowing that we're drawing on the scripture from 2 Peter, that God will provide all we need for life and godliness. So I'm going to ask you how we can pray for you. But I want to say, while you're thinking about that we're really proud of you. I mean, honestly the heat. I'm glad you actually brought it up as a challenge and it wasn't just something, because in spite of that, I mean, all our pictures were of you guys right out in the sun painting. Man, you must have been just dripping. but with joy and all that you did, we're really proud of you, and we're grateful for what you did and also for how God's going to use you. So I'm going to start with you, Lydia. How can we pray for you?
Well, I'm about to get married.
Yeah.
And there's other big life transitions. Mm-hmm. So just that everything goes smoothly, that God makes it clear what I'm supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm. Just to continue to trust in God's plan and just the plans that he has for me, because if I wouldn't have been on this missions trip. So yeah, just to continue to trust in him.
I guess to be reminded to keep God in the center of my life, and him being my firm foundation, and that even in the midst of the unknown, may I still rely on him deeply.
Yeah.
I just really want to be able to integrate the experience I've had with this trip to into my life now, and just be able to let it help me grow and stuff, the good and the bad stuff. Yeah. And just not let it just be a flash in the pan moment in my life, but have it impact me and change what I do from now on.
Yeah. So people listening will be praying for you, and I'll be praying for you too. So again, we're just really grateful. And for those listening, thanks for listening to the All We Need podcast. And we'll be back in another month. Thanks.
All We Need, hosted by Commissioner Evie Diaz, is a production of the Salvation Army, USA Central Territory. For more information, visit salvationarmymedia.org/podcasts. Thanks for listening.